All right, maybe I'll tip up a little bit. All right, Sahdu here. I'm not doing as many YouTube videos. This is actually a backdrop that is supposed to be on a canvas. It's flat, but I have it I gotta fold it. That's coming back with me to Florida. I'm leaving out of here on Wednesday, and I'll be in Florida for 6 months. So I want to talk about a little bit about social beneficial capitalism. Social beneficial capitalism is built on the precepts of permaculture and bundled in with the blockchain and a new kind of launch entity called a Foundup, which is a founder with an idea for solving a localized problem. So I want you to imagine, in this little background, I started working on Foundups in 2009, and I came up with the idea of open cooperatives and open co-ops in 2010. A lot of it was the formation came out of the Occupy Wall Street in 2011. I shared my work with the founders of, with some of the founders of Ethereum, Bitcoin Magazine folks who went on to launch Ethereum. The one person I never talked to about Foundups was Vitalik, right? But his co-founder Mihai Alisie and I communicated a lot. And the irony is, the question to ask is, why is, of all the founders that there are around Ethereum, why is Vitalik the only one on the paper, right? Like it all sprang from his brain. Yeah, right. There's also a guy called the CEO of Bitcoin Magazine, which technically, supposedly, Vitalik bought, right, for $21,000 or $22,000. No one sells their idea for 20 grand. And the guy called Matthew N. Wright is gone poof, and who knows? I call him ETH Waldo. There's a lot of questions around Ethereum, and anyone who delves deep into it realizes there's something more there. So whether it's my work or whether it's the work of Matthew of ETH Waldo, right? Small Planet was his work, and I always joke around. I said, if you want to, show us the code of Small Planet. You have to talk to. So probably you have to talk to Matthew. We don't have that, right? Yeah, right. Okay. Mihai Alisie was working on it. Vladimir was working on it. But regardless, this is just ancient history news, right? The reality is that the blockchain exists to usher in a paradigm the cyberpunks started working on. The cyberpunks were radicalist type. We would consider them in a way, terrorists, financial terrorists. They want to take down the IMF. They wanted to, change the whole system. How I understand it, right? They were against the banking and the whole idea of Bitcoin, and one of their guys, part of was a guy called Hal Finney, and Hal Finney dreamed and worked on Bitcoin a lot. We know he worked on Bitcoin a lot, but the question is, he fixed Bitcoin in 2010 when it got hacked. Why was it Satoshi? Why was it him, right? He also became one of the main people pushing Bitcoin out there, going to science fairs. Why would you, if you were the founder of Bitcoin, why would you be doing that? So a lot of stuff about Hal Finney. He was a cryptologist. He also got arrested, or didn't get arrested, but he got busted for hacking Netscape, but then never went to jail or anything. I mean, it's like, hacking Google today or Amazon and never going to jail. And what I surmise is he started working for our intelligence agencies. And I heard a story at DevCon 5, which really got me thinking. Someone who was around back then and was telling me kind of like how Bitcoin got started. I don't know if you know that. It was getting pushed through, it first came out through online gambling newsletter. So obviously if Bitcoin was developed as a CIA project, as trackable money, and they want to push it in a way as being, hey, this is a way to hide your money, to launder money, you would push it through gambling, because then you could track the gamblers and everyone having their money and putting their money in it, and you can ultimately track them back to the source. And that's the beautiful thing. You can't do that with cash, but you can do that with Bitcoin, because Bitcoin is digitally tied to you, right? I can keep it as long as I don't spend anything else, no one knows about it. Or I can move it from, but if I move it from one account to another account, it's visible, right? And that's where the whole idea of Zcash came out. It's like, I don't want to make it visible. So you can always track it back to its source. And, you know, I could argue, no, someone just, you know, I did some work, and, well, who is this guy? I don't know. It was a donation. So I can keep money here and just keep getting donated. But, you know, how do they prove that it's me sending the money, unless there's like an IP tag? All right. But I'm getting kind of caught up in all that. Social beneficial capitalism, right? That's where we're headed. That is ultimately, this is a roadmap for it, right? That's how I look at it. Here's a roadmap for it. And social beneficial capitalism, I want you to imagine a world that has a new kind of entity, not a startup, but called a Foundup. And these Foundups level up, right? And think of each of these little things as one of the levels, right? There's 19 levels to the Foundup. And when it gets to level 19, it launches as this entity, right? Or it becomes this entity in the process of this leveling up. And imagine then that all the money that this entity makes, the profits, is transferred into Bitcoin and held into this fund online. And I want you to imagine that there's no ownership with these entities. These entities actually work autonomously, and they have stakeholders. And a stakeholder is a customer. A stakeholder is also a producer, a creator, a customer and creator. Someone that's helping with the project. Okay, got a scratch on my leg here. There are no customers. There is no competition, right? We're all in this world together. We all exist on this planet together. Imagine a world without competition. Imagine a world where ultimately we are seeking to have a good life, right? We're not seeking to be dog eat dog, the whole conquest thing. And the more you participate in these, I call them DANOs, decentralized autonomous nonprofit organizations, these decentralized, self-driving, self-owning, right, or collectively owned and driven. No one has ownership. There are no board of directors. There's no one accountable for it. If you break the law, you break the law, right? The entity itself can't break the law. It's kind of like, how does a computer break the law? The computer can't break the law. If I take a computer and hit you with it, I can break the law. An entity is going to exist like the computer. The DANO is like a computer, right? Everyone's interacting with the computer, or everyone's interacting. Think of it, the DANO is like the internet, right? The internet's not evil, the actions of it, but every individual is held accountable for those actions. So, the one thing is right now entities are treated as individuals, and they're eternals. They're immortals, right? Entity is an immortal individual. It can vote, or it has voting rights. It's perpetual, and this is all because of rich people with money getting the Supreme Court to post it. And I want you to imagine that based on your interactions with this entity, right? The more you interact with it, the more benefit you drive to it, the greater your UBI, or the benefit returns to you. So collectively, instead of thinking like you get these frequent flyer miles from an airline, or you get a coupon for it going there, let's get rid of all that trash and just call it UBI, right? Just put it into tokenizations, and I get the tokens back, and I can use the tokens for whatever I want. Because you see, unlike the airline is this closed niche that's trying to do this, and in social capitalism, it's all connected. It's all one thing. And that's where we're headed. And I just want to kind of talk about that for a few minutes. So I don't know what you think. Tell me what you think. My name is Mike Trout. Not the baseball guy. I'm the hornet hunter. And I'm going to be in Florida for 6 months. If you're going to be if you're cold, you want to come down, I'm launching Foundup House, a lot of stuff going on. It's 10 minutes, and I'm cutting off here. All right, thanks for watching, and let me know what you think. Bye. Oh, don't forget to hit the bell and subscribe. I got 5,000 followers, but none of them are subscribed because they added this bell thing, and I've been away from YouTube for 5 years, 3 years, taking care of my dad. So I'm back now and want to get this channel going. Thanks. So please subscribe, please share, and help me get going here.